I was going over my African cichlid tank. I thought I'd give you guys a look at how I clean my canister filters. I have two of these Sun 304B canister filters, plus a couple marine lands. This small marine land actually goes over to the turtle tank though. But I clean these bi-monthly. So I cleaned this one. Actually, this one hasn't been cleaned in over a month either, but this was the last one I cleaned. This one is mostly full of biomedia. It's most of the trays are just lava rock and ceramic rings and a small polish pad. This filter, on the other hand, has lava rock here in the second tray. It's full lava rock with a small polish pad over it. And then in this tray, it's got bio balls and lava rock. Another polish pad. Mainly the polish pad in that tray is mostly just to help keep the bio balls from floating when you pull the tray above it out. And then this bottom tray has a very coarse foam. It's got different layers of foam. So really coarse, medium, and then some pinky foam on top to help polish. Now, the water goes down to the bottom. It comes back up through this one. Then it goes through those two biomedia trays. And then just before it returns to the tank, it goes to this one. This one I've already rinsed. Now when I do my maintenance, I take this and I just rinse it all out with just regular tap water. Spray it out real good. And this is two of the pinky foam pads that I cut to fit with some of this polyfill shoved in between the pads. And this is pretty much, this filter is the one I consider my water polishing filter. And then, yeah, in the bottom it's got a little bit of this foam. This foam I actually don't ever rinse out with sink water or anything. I pull it all out and I rinse the tray and I wash these off and then I put it all back in. I don't ever rinse the foam. And I'll do the same with this pinky foam. I'll just wash it off with sink water, tap water. I'm not gonna rinse these foams out. I'll wring them out in tank water, but I don't actually wash them like I do the pinky foam. I figured pinky foam is easier to reuse, and everything else has a biological media anyway. I could completely wash this stuff. I just don't want to start a mini cycle, you know, by being too thorough. So, okay, now that the filter is clean and put back together, we're ready to just plug it back in, right? You figure you want to just put the hoses on, let it do its thing. It'll purge and fill itself. It'll blow a bunch of bubbles out here. But before I plug that in, because it's gonna spit a bunch of nasty stuff out of the hoses and residual stuff floating around that's gonna be kicked up as it fills with water. So I don't want all that detritus and nastiness floating around my tank when I first start my filter up. So I'm gonna show you what I do. I take just a piece of hose, like this is the hose from my Python, and I attach it to the outlet from the filter. My hose just happens to fit snugly inside of that piece of plastic there. Now that that's done, we'll go ahead and plug this in. Now the other end of this hose goes out into my front yard. So that's where that leads to. Now that that's done though, let's go ahead, move the filter closer. And we'll plug this in, push down, open the valve, and I can hear it filling. Oh, it was. A lot of times it'll just fill up automatically, but that's okay. You can already see stuff floating around inside of that hose. And that's the stuff I'm trying to prevent from getting kicked back into the tank. I only got one set of hands. Another trick I like to use is take a power head like this. I took my intake tube off. I point the power head up that. It gets the siphon going. Now it's siphoning through the filter out into the yard. And by now I'm positive that all the nasty stuff is kicked up out of here. And I'm probably not gonna kick too much detritus back into the tank. So at this point what I'm gonna do is put everything back together and plug the filter in. Now that the filter's plugged back in, it's running. I still have this tube going out because when it initially starts up, it'll kick some stuff up. I give it a gentle shake, and that's just to get any air bubbles out of the system. You'll see as I kind of shake this thing, air bubbles will go down the line. But once I've got it to where most of the air bubbles are kind of stopped, I go ahead, slide it back under there, and then I do my normal gravel vacuuming and cleaning the sides, and I'm done with my tank maintenance. Thanks for watching.